Hey guys, Frightener22 here, and welcome to my December 14th DVD update. It's only been like 10 days, week and a half or so since my last DVD update, so this is pretty quick, but I don't really have that much coming in for the second half of December, so this was a good time to just kind of get another one in before the new year, and I actually have a good amount of stuff, so this is the kind of schedule that I want to keep running with the DVD updates, is like every 10 days, 2 weeks tops, because I really tend to get a lot of stuff in within a 2 week span, so it's kind of good to keep them. So this is a nice sized update. This is a normal sized update that I would like to showcase more and more. So without further ado, this is my December 14th DVD update. The first one is a Blu-ray, and this is currently the last Pixar Blu-ray that I need, or that I needed until Finding Nemo comes out, and then of course Brave, like when that finally comes to Blu-ray after its theatrical release. But this is the Pixar Short Films Collection Volume 1. These were great. These are the original short films that aired early on in Pixar's career, and I think some of them were ones that played on some of the movie's shorts as time went on. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't cut into this yet. I just know some of the shorts that I've watched over the years. Like, I know that, like, this has aired, like, the short films have aired on ABC Family throughout the years, but I think actually all of them are from like the early days of Pixar before they did any features before. So this is a really cool collection to have. I think I snagged this for like $13.99 because it was on sale and I had a promo. So this is a really cool collection to have. I hope that they continue doing more of the short films collections because they've just made so many in the last few years that coincide. You know, they do the shorts before the features now, which is a great idea, and I'm really happy they brought that back. But they have so many more that they're sitting on, so I do hope that those get a home video release at some point. The next one I got is from Mondo Macabro, and this is Don't Open Till Christmas. This is a really good Christmas-themed horror film. I've always really enjoyed it. The first time that I saw this, I rented this on Netflix, actually, and I think this is actually the first time this is getting a Region 1 release in its unrated format. It's got a brand new anamorphic transfer from the negative and a 52-minute making-of featurette that was filmed at the time of this movie's filming. So it's a really cool look back, and then there's trailers and a documentary about the producer, Dick Randall. So I would definitely recommend checking this out if you want something a little bit more horror-themed during the holiday season. This is definitely one to check out. One that I picked up, this is the Blu-ray of Chillerama. This is an anthology horror film that 4 directors, Adam Green, Adam Rifkin, Joe Lynch, and Tim Sullivan. There's 4 segments, and each of them directed one. It's kind of like Frank Henenlotter meets Troma, which might sound cool, but it's really nothing special. I thought that the best segment of all was Adam Rifkin's Wadzilla. I thought that was really funny. He got, like, huge perk because the creature designs were done by the Chiodo brothers from Killer Clowns in Outer Space, among many other things. Cool Duder has a small little cameo in this, which is cool, but his was just really funny. And then the other one that I really liked the most was Adam Green's. He did The Diary of Anne Frankenstein, which is actually really well done and really funny, too. But overall, this isn't really anything incredibly special. The intentions and the idea were cool, and, you know, it was a cool idea in theory, but just the execution on some of them was just not that great. Like Tim Sullivan's, which has been pretty much the general consensus among most reviewers, that his was by far the worst, and I have to agree. It just really wasn't anything exciting or interesting. But yeah, I mean, check it out for yourself if you're really interested. But I mean, I'm happy that I own it, but it's really nothing that knocked me off my socks. Another one that I got was the most recent of these ongoing trend of these horror documentaries. This is More Brains, A Return to the Living Dead. This is obviously a documentary on A Return to the Living Dead and the sequels 2 and 3. This O-card's cool, but definitely, like, the artwork underneath is way better. I kind of wish they would have just kept that. But yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to watch this, but this is a DVD, you know, just focusing on you know, the entire impact that Return of the Living Dead has had, which is cool by me because it's one, if not my favorite zombie movie, so cool stuff. As much as I've talked a lot of shit about this, I finally bit the bullet and figured I would test some of these out, so I bought like 5. So yes, cross over to the dark side, and I bought some manufactured on-demand movies. The first of the batch is one that I've always really liked, and it is part of the original Video Nasties list, and this is a remastered edition of Night School. This is a really cool horror movie. I think this is from 1981. And it had never seen a DVD release here in the States, but this is really good. It's been bootlegged to hell. That's where I first saw it, was on a bootleg DVD, but I wanted to just own this one since it is out in like the closest to, its official release, so I picked this one up for like $14.99, which is not crazy unreasonable, but anywhere from like $13.99 and below is what I think mods should be, and for the majority of these, that's what I got them for, so that's kind of what crossed me over to test them out. The next one I got was just a blatant blind buy that I haven't gotten to yet, and this is Second Sight. This is with John Larroquette and Bronson Pinchot. John Larroquette's like the villain from Richie Rich, and Bronson is of course from Perfect Strangers and like Beverly Hills Cop. So this one just looked kind of funny and goofy in a really cool '80s way. It's actually directed by Joel Zwick, who was really more in, his name is probably more familiar with television. He directed tons and tons of television shows ranging from Full House to Webster. So his name is like, if you're ever like watching television shows from like the 80s, you're like, pay attention who directed it, because I'm sure there's a good chance that Joel Zwick has directed like a handful of episodes from a sitcom that you watched, but it was really cool to own this just based on that, because I've just associated his name with so many classic television shows, so I'm excited to check this one out. The next one I got was another blind buy, and the only reason I knew about it was because this film was actually originally offered for Tim Burton to direct, hot off the heels of his debut Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So once I saw this was in the archive collection, it was like $13.99, and I was like, this is like the kind of goofy shit that I'm into anyway. So I picked up Hot to Trot. Yeah, it's got Bob Goldthwait, and it's a talking horse voiced by John Goodman. It's totally ridiculous and totally over the top, but it actually works. It's pretty goofy 80s fun, and I enjoyed it, and I'm happy to have it, even if it's in a mod release. The next two are MGM limited edition titles, and they're both blind buys that just looked really cool, so I'm excited to gonna be cutting into these this week, so I'm looking forward to that. The first one is called Ghost Warrior. I don't really know too much about it, but that's killer artwork. You can't really say anything wrong about that one. And the next one was just the name and the artwork kind of sealed the deal for me, and I have actually heard that this is a pretty cool one too. And this is Dolph Lundgren in Dark Angel. That's just killer artwork. I'm really happy that a lot of these mod titles are retaining the original artwork, so that's really cool, because 10 out of 10 times the original poster art or video artwork is better than the Photoshop hack jobs that they do today on current releases, so this is a cool one. And the final mod release that I got is a Warner Brother Archive one again, and this was a blind buy that I watched, and I really, really dug, and I'm so happy because I've been hearing so many good things about this for years, and this is the TV movie Bad Ronald. This is great. I really, really enjoyed this one a lot. I'm not going to waste too much time explaining, because I'm sure many people already know about it, but it's cool. It's a 71-minute, no bullshit, kind of straight to the point TV movie, but it's really, really well done. The next one I got was just kind of, a collector's mentality, and also because I enjoy the Coreys, I just needed to complete this. So I picked up Dream a Little Dream 2. I've never seen this one, I've only seen the original, but you know what, it was like $5. I love the Coreys, and Robin Lively's in this too. She was from The Karate Kid 3 and Teen Witch, so there's an even added, like, cool factor to it. So yeah, I'm excited to check that one out. The next three are from, they're from Lionsgate's Lost Collection. That was that line that put out, like, Slaughter High and Repossessed, among a few other ones. So these were three of the other ones that I didn't own yet. They're all blind buys. The first one is Keanu Reeves in The Night Before. That's actually Lori Loughlin. She was Aunt Becky in Full House. The next one, I actually own the poster for that I won in a poster lot on eBay at one time, but this is John Cryer in Hiding Out. I'm really excited to get to all three of these. Well, two, because the next one I've actually seen. The next one is John Cryer again in Morgan Stewart's Coming Home. I Netflixed this movie about a year ago, and I really liked it. he's like a kid that's really into horror movies, and his like rich parents sent him off to like boarding school, and he's finally home, and his parents just kind of have no interest in him at all. So that's why they kind of sent him to boarding schools and summer camps and stuff. So he just kind of, for all intents and purposes, he's a really normal kid that just kind of wants some attention from his parents. But funny hijinks ensue in trying to make that happen and stuff. So it is really cool. I like this a lot. The next one was Blind Buy. I picked up a lot of newer horror movies that I've missed out on, so I wanted to play catch up. The first one I got, this was really cheap. This was like, I don't even think it was $6, and this was The Hills Run Red. This one wasn't really amazing, but there was some cool death scenes in it. But for less than $5, I can't really complain. But it's really nothing to write home about. The next one, I thought this was out of print. I know that it only received a Canadian release, but that's, of course, Region 1, so it plays in American players as well. But I thought it was out of print, but it wasn't, so I picked this up for like $13. And this is Night of the Demons 3. This is the only one that I haven't seen or owned yet. Actually, I haven't seen 2 yet either, but the third one I just didn't have yet. It's pretty cool. It's got like English and like French writing on there too, which is kind of annoying because it just like is English and then like the French translation, so it's just double everywhere. Even on the back, the descriptions, there's 2 descriptions in like English and French. So take what you can get, but I'm really happy to just complete the trilogy off in some way. Some more Blu-rays now. This was like $5 or $5.50. I had never seen this before. I grew up surprisingly never knowing about this movie for whatever reason, but this is the Blu-ray of Camp Nowhere. Christopher Lloyd's in this. And this girl in the corner, I think that's the girl from Richie Rich, the like tomboy out of the gang, which is pretty cool because it's just really funny that you would see familiar kid faces. And the kid next to him, I'm sure you guys can't see that, but he's like the jock type guy that's trying to swoon Larissa Olnick in 10 Things I Hate About You. So it is kind of cool to see some really familiar kid faces in this, but this is from like 94, so I'm happy to own this and check it out because I love films like this. Another one I picked up because this was like $5 too. This is the unrated director's cut of Hatchet 2. I thought the original Hatchet was okay. It wasn't anything special, but I did want to check out the sequel, so, I figured for $5 I may as well give it a try. Danielle Harris is in this too, so I always liked her and stuff. Another Mill Creek Blu-ray that I picked up for, like, not even $5 either was a film called Gross Anatomy. It's got Matthew Modine and Daphne Zuniga in it. I've never actually seen this, but I've always liked Daphne's performances. She was in Spaceballs and The Fly 2, and Matthew Modine, of course, from Full Metal Jacket. But I didn't know too much about this, but it's basically about like kids working their way through med school, which is kind of an interesting topic. This came out in the summer of '89, which was when like Batman was the big extravaganza. But apparently this was like a really good movie that was hailed pretty well by critics. It just kind of got overshadowed amongst like the summer of Batman. So this seemed pretty cool to check out for like $5. The next one is, another blind buy because I did want to check this out. And I finally watched this. And again, some of these newer horror movies, they're just not like knocking me off my socks as much as I'd want to. But this one actually had some really, really cool practical death scenes, and they were really cool looking too. This is the unrated director's cut of Laid to Rest. This was cool. The killer looked really cool. The performances were actually not too bad, actually, but the death scenes are really what brought it home for me in this one. Really awesome practical effects and just really ingenious, very fucking violent too, so that's always cool. And then I picked up the Blu-ray because they've only released the second one on Blu-ray, not the first, so I picked up the unrated director's cut of ChromeSkull, Laid to Rest 2. Haven't gotten this because I only watched Laid to Rest like 2 days ago. Next one I got because I had won Wrong Turn 2 on Blu-ray in a costume contest a few years ago, and I still hadn't watched that. So I was kind of thinking about it. It's been like years. Probably I haven't seen this movie since I saw it in theaters, so I decided to pick up the first Wrong Turn on Blu-ray for $10. I liked this movie a lot, though, when I saw it in theaters, so now that I own the first two, I'll probably eventually get the third and fourth one, too. The next one is the last, like, recent horror movie that I haven't seen yet, but I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm really looking forward to it because I hear a lot of good things about this one, and this is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. A lot of cool people in this, Zelda Rubinstein and Robert Englund. I've heard that this has just got a really cool balance of comedy and then straight up horror, so those balances are really cool, and when they're done really well, that's also something that really brings it home for me. And the most recent stuff that I just got in, the first one, this is from Shout Factory. This just came out on Tuesday, I believe. It's an action double feature of The Nickel Ride, and I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce the next title, but I'm going to take a chance on it. 99 and 44 100% Dead. I think it has a lot to do with what goes on in the film, and it doesn't make it very clear what that title means. So I can understand a lot of people maybe being confused or even just dismissing this film outright by just not getting at all what this film is going to be about. But I really like these double features that Shout puts out. I own like all of them that they've put out, and the Jason Miller one I'm really looking forward to. The other film I don't know much about, but I guess that's kind of fun, the element of surprise. You don't really know what you're going to get, which is cool. I picked up 2 double features from Image Entertainment, because some of these were out of print, especially Tough Turf, which is one that I've been wanting to have for a while, so once I knew it was getting re-released in this cheap double feature, this was a great way to pick it up. So the first one is Tough Turf and Under the Boardwalk. Tough Turf is a really fun movie. It's got James Spader and Robert Downey Jr. I really recommend this. You can get this for like not even $10 on Amazon now. And the next double feature that Image released on Tuesday, too, was a fun one. Seems really interesting. I'm actually really looking forward to cutting into both of these because they look like really really fun times. The first one is DEFCON 4, and the other one is Hell Comes to Frogtown, which stars Rowdy Rod Piper from, of course, They Live. So, yeah, I don't know a whole lot about this, but, the less I know, the better, because I just like to be surprised by movies. The next one I got is from Disney, and this is the 20th anniversary Blu Ray edition of The Rocketeer. Don't get swept up in that 20th anniversary title, because I love Disney, and from what I've read, they've done a really good job on the picture quality on this, but it is far from an anniversary edition. Yeah, maybe in name it is, and the fact that it is 20 years, but there's nothing on this. There's only a trailer, which kind of sucks, because we know for a fact that Disney hosted a 20th anniversary screening of the film at El Capitan Theater in California, and it was like a panel discussion with the director Joe Johnston and the star, and it was like moderated by Kevin Smith, so it was probably a great opportunity to capture stuff, which they probably did, so I don't know why they just didn't put like absolutely anything on this. Like, I'm sure Joe Johnston would have given a commentary for this, but it kind of stinks, because this is a really, really good movie that I recommend people checking out. It's probably one of the coolest comic book adaptations, so definitely check this one out. Again, from Shout Factory, I just wrapped up the whole series with this release, and this is the complete 6th and final season of Spin City. This was the last one and the second season that Charlie Sheen was in after he took over from Michael J. Fox. So always happy to complete any television show in my series, so awesome job, Shout Factory. The next one is the Blu Ray DVD combo pack from Synapse Films. This is the director's cut of Intruder. Really cool that Synapse put this out. This one had originally had a pretty shoddy, I don't think it was uncut at all, DVD release, but Synapse really picked up the pace with this one and really gave fans a really great and a release done right for this film, because it just, it's a really fun film for horror fans, but the other release just didn't give it the proper respect that it deserved. This is a combo pack, like I just said. But yeah, this one looks really cool. Really awesome cover art. I mean, that's not the original cover art, but you can't really go wrong with that one. They did a good job on that. And some other ones that I just picked up for $5. This was the Blu-ray of There Will Be Blood. I gotta check that one out again, because I really like that one. I picked this one up because this is apparently going out of print, so you guys better pick this up too while you can. This is the special edition Blu-ray of My Bloody Valentine. I have the DVD, but I just wanted to get the Blu-ray, because apparently the Blu-ray looks really good. I've seen parts of it, so it looked awesome. One that I've been putting off for years to get around the holidays, and finally I picked it up. I started watching it last night, but fell asleep because I was so exhausted, so I'm actually going to finish this one tonight. But this is the special edition, original director's cut, again from Synapse Films, of Christmas Evil. It's funny, like, every time, like, I want to get this around the holidays, like, so many people like are buying it again around the holidays because I guess obviously like the Christmas theme gets people like in the mood to watch this. But it like took me forever to get this. Like it just kept going out of stock, and like it was just a little too high for me. Like I paid like I think like $19.50, which seemed a little high to me just because it's been out like a good 4 years. But I guess that, you know, it's just one of those titles that doesn't really drop down in price, but whatever. I mean, I was happy to finally pick it up. So yeah, like I said, I still got to finish this, but I'll be doing that tonight. And the final three, this is from Intervision, and this is The Secret Life, Jeffrey Dahmer. This is a pretty controversial film when it came out back in the day because it was pretty, it was like hot off the heels of like Jeffrey Dahmer being put in prison. And this is a pretty graphic depiction of the events that unfolded in the murders that he committed. So yeah, it's pretty controversial, but I did want to check it out because I do like Intervision stuff. And the last two I picked up just for, you know, blind buy impulse ones that were like $10 a piece from Blue Underground. This is David Carradine and Cannonball. This was directed by Paul Bartel, who was a big Corman regular. He directed Death Race 2000. He was in Rock and Roll High School and Piranha. But yeah, this one seems like a lot of fun. There's cameos in this from like Martin Scorsese and Joe Dante and Roger Corman and stuff. So yeah, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. And the final film I got was a weird one that's just intrigued me, and it seemed really cool. This is a Larry Cohen film. It stars Yaphet Kotto, and it's called Bone. Pretty cool looking cover and stuff. So yeah, it just sounds like pretty bizarre, so I wanted to check it out. $10, just, you know, in the mood to buy something, so I picked those two up. Well, guys, that wraps up my December 14th DVD update. I'm glad that I could bring another one to you guys so quickly. It was a pretty quick turnaround, but like I said, this is pretty much all I'll be getting in for December, because the next 2 weeks there's absolutely nothing, like no new releases coming out. So my birthday's on the 22nd, so if I'm getting like gift cards and money, I'm sure I'll get some impulse buys and stuff, but probably not enough to substantiate another DVD update. So I'll probably, the next DVD update will more than likely be in 2012. Early 2012, so that should be fun. But as always, guys, thanks for tuning in, thanks for subscribing, and I'll catch you guys in 2012. Thanks again. This is Frightener22.